Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Farhan, also known as Gunner since 96, and today we are looking ahead to the clash at the Emirates, Arsenal versus Newcastle, a Premier League game. Of course, we've played them already in the FA Cup, but this time it will be for points on the board, and it will be a very, very important game because we dropped points against Palace, points that we should have really gained, and we drew against Newcastle really in the 90 minutes that we played them in the FA Cup and managed to score 2 goals in extra time. But of course, this time around, we won't be getting extra time, so it will be really, really important to wrap up the business before the 90-minute whistle is blown. To start off, I'm going to talk about... Oh, actually, before I start, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been giving me the support on this channel, subscribing. We're growing every single day, so thank you. If I can just ask you all to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and click that bell notification to be notified every time that I release a video. Having said that, now we can start by talking about Mikel Arteta's press conference. It was done after the Palace game, but of course they release it in chunks. He had a few things to talk about, a few things that I picked out. It wasn't a very long press conference. It was quite late when he did it, so I imagine he wanted to keep it short and sweet. But Arteta started off by talking about Richard Garlick, who is going to take over from Hus Fahmi's role as contract negotiator, but also he will be taking on Raul Sanllehi's role as well. It's like being merged into two. It's really weird. It doesn't really make sense to me right now. I don't know whether we're giving someone too much to do. I mean, what do I know? I'm merely a fan, just talking on reports. But Arteta did have some good things to say. Some positive things to say. He basically said that the clubs wanted someone with lots of experience and someone that can bring ideas and qualities to run Arsenal Football Club the way that they want it to be ran, and apparently he can help bring better players to the club to improve the squad. It seems as if Arsenal are bringing in someone who can deliver the goods. By the goods, I mean someone who has influence, someone who is able to attract players, someone who can work with an array of different clubs, who has a good relationship with other clubs as well, who has a good connection, good links, a little bit like Sanllehi, where he had so many good links. But it seems as if Arsenal are bringing in someone with that sort of calibre. We're yet to see what this Richard Garlick guy is made of. Of course, we know he had a long spell at West Bromwich Albion. He's been working with the Premier League for the last 2 years. So who knows? Who knows? You're never going to really know until someone comes in. But I must say, what I can say is that he has a lot of experience, and more experience than the majority of our executives at the club right now. Certainly more experience than Edu and Arteta. So that is a good thing. Okay, but we won't see him in action until next season. So we'll move on to the team news. What Arteta basically has told us about the team news, about who we'll be expecting to see and who won't we. We know that Pablo Mari is out with a calf injury, so he will miss the next few games, which is a disappointment because he had been doing so well. However, Gabriel is back, which is good. Which is really, really good. So basically, I reckon if Mari was fit and available and Gabriel was fit and available, it would have been a tricky job to choose who to put in there. Personally, me, without a shadow of a doubt, Gabriel would have been in there. He's been excellent since he's come in. Excellent at the back in all the games that he's played for us, bar one of them, the game that he got the red card. But I've been really impressed with Gabriel, and having Mari injured is disappointing. Having said that, it gives Gabriel a few games to get back in there. The pressure is on him to continue the performances until Mari is back, and then Mari will have to try and force his way into the back four. And it's sort of been the story for Arsenal's back four throughout the whole seasons. Way too many centre-backs, way too many players competing for the same position. So, I mean, remember, there is Callum Chambers as well, who's yet to appear since coming back from injury. I really do hope that we see him tomorrow. I'll be releasing a pre-match video. I forgot what I call them, but basically I'll be looking ahead to the game properly, giving my predicted starting lineup. It's a late kickoff, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I won't be commenting on starting 11s or anything like that today. I'm just going to be talking about Arteta's press conference and a little bit of an analysis on the game itself. So that's Pablo Mari. He's basically out for the next few games, but the good thing is that Gabriel is back. On Thomas Partey, he did give us a little bit of an idea of what he might do tomorrow against Newcastle. He said that he's made the right steps. He hasn't played much football in 4 months, so bearing that in mind, we're just going to have to take it one step at a time and look at the next steps. He played, how many minutes did he play? 25 minutes, I think, 25, 30 minutes, if that, against Crystal Palace. He came on. I have to say, he didn't really make much of an impact. I remember seeing him instantly as soon as he came on. He looked like a dominant figure in the middle. He did make a few touches as he came on and just shored up the midfield. However, I mean, controversially, I'm going to say this, but I think Granit Xhaka sort of was the focal point in that midfield, in the sense that the tempo that he was playing was much slower than what the other players were playing, making a couple mistakes here and there. So I guess it was difficult for Partey to try and stand out or do anything to try and progress the ball up the field. But do I expect to see Partey against Newcastle? I would like for him to start. I would really like for him to start. I think a game like this against Newcastle, where you know what they're going to do, very similar to what they did in the FA Cup, this game is going to be suited to someone like Partey. I think the tempo is going to be a little bit slower. Therefore, it's easier for Partey to ease into the game. It's better for him to actually play in that sort of tempo where he's able to pick up passes, he's able to play the ball forward. He's great at playing the ball, passing the ball, feeding the ball. So this game will be, a game where he'll want to start, he'll want to play in. Do I see Arteta playing him throughout 90 minutes? No. He might start him and then take him off, or he might put him on the bench and bring him on. So it's difficult to really... It's difficult to predict what's going to happen with Partey, but we'll find out very soon. In terms of clean sheets, he made some comments about clean sheets. So it's positive to have 4 clean sheets in a row. It's great. However, he mentioned that it's the foundation to win a football game. However, we have lacked quality in the last third, the final third. And ultimately that has resulted in dropping points. So, it's great. It is really, really good that we have had clean sheets in the last few games. I'm not sure whether after West Brom, we didn't get it. Did we get a clean sheet at West Brom? We did get a clean sheet at West Brom, didn't we? Yeah, so it was West Brom, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, and the game before that, Brighton. Yes. 4 clean sheets. Yes, okay, fine. We have done well at the back. Having said that, I don't think we have had much to defend against. I think after Newcastle will be the real test. So Southampton, Wolves, United, Southampton potentially again as well. Those games will be the games where we'll test our back four. Will tell us whether we're good enough at the back for these clean sheets. And also, you have to say that Bernd Leno has done an absolutely incredible job in goal as well, in giving us those clean sheets. So hats off to him. And I guess we need to just stop making sloppy mistakes and relying on Bernd to make those saves, because it could cost us a game, Okay, so moving on from the clean sheets, a really interesting question that was asked to Arteta that gave us an insight about his philosophy, his way of thinking as well, was whether he sticks to his beliefs when things aren't going his way. And he started off by saying, in my opinion, more than ever. Things can get a little cloudy and unclear to see, but you have to be able to analyze a lot of things. But as well, adapt, change things around a little bit to try to find a way. So that was really interesting for me because it showed me that he is quite a stubborn manager. And we have seen instances of that stubbornness in games where he's refusing to, for example, drop Willian, refusing to make the right changes, maybe, in my opinion. So yeah, it is interesting to see his way of thinking, that he feels like he needs to stick with his ideas, and I agree to some extent. I think the fundamental ideas are key to get your way of playing one way or another through to the players. However, it's important, like he said, it's important to adapt. So I guess he said the right things, but I was a little bit worried when he started off by saying, in my opinion, more than ever. I just hope as a manager that he grows, he learns how to be able to make the right decisions at the right time, and it will come with experience, I guess. But I would hate to see the naivety and the stubbornness get ahead or get in the way of his brilliant ideas. Okay, so that was basically the press conference in itself. There wasn't much to it. However, we have some more team news that has come out recently. Tierney's scan shows that it's not as serious as first thought, so he could return against Newcastle. Do I see him returning against Newcastle? No, not really. I don't think they'll take the risk. I think he will start on the bench. And I think that was it really. Other than Tierney, Newcastle are going to be without Fraser, which is a massive plus for us. Saint Maximum is yet to return as well. He is injured. Jamal Lascelles, their captain, might be returning. He did play 45 minutes against us as well. So, yeah, it looks like a weakened side, a weakened Newcastle side, which is a good thing for us, but we make it difficult for ourselves. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about the FA Cup game and things to avoid going into this game, and how we should maybe try to play this game. Definitely different to how we did in the FA Cup. We know that Newcastle will play 5 at the back. They will be really, really tightly formed. They will have a very organised backline, similar to the one that they had at the Emirates, where they drew against. They'll take a lot of positives away from that game, and I think they will draw up a similar game plan where they will frustrate Arsenal. They will play deep into their half, and they will try to play on the counter-attack. I think Callum Wilson will be available, so that'll be really quite scary, because the chances that Carroll miss, you're thinking if it was any other striker like Wilson, it will go in the back of the net. So yeah, they're going to play 5 at the back. They're going to play really, really defensive, really conservative, and we need to start quicker. We need to start far quicker than we did against them in Crystal Palace. We need to up the tempo. The passing needs to be quicker. The movement needs to be quicker. The balls, whether they go into the box or fed through the middle, they need to be crossed in and fed through quicker. Everyone needs to be on the same page, really. And we've seen the best Arsenal that we've seen so far this season are an Arsenal that are relentlessly, energetic, upbeat, high tempo. Against West Brom, we saw that it was constant, and I just really hope and I wish we could see that week in, week out. But I know obviously we don't have the right players right now to play that style of football, but I really hope that they all turn up against Newcastle. We win convincingly, and I think something that I would try to do different is to play through the middle. We've seen us play down the wings. We've seen teams suss us out. It's been frustrating because we haven't been able to make the most out of our wings purely, I think, last game because Tierney was unavailable. And, you know, maybe we should try something different. Maybe we should go down the centre rather than go down the wings. I think it will be interesting to see with the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe if he does start. In my opinion, I would prefer him to be on the bench. Maybe start Ceballos in that role, who's been looking pretty good in the last few games that he's played. So I would like us to see, I would like us to progress play through the middle, try to break them down, do what Laka did when he came on against Newcastle, pull players out of position, maybe feed balls over the top. Who knows? But something needs to change. I don't want to see a repeat of what happened against Crystal Palace, and I'm afraid that we will. And if that's the case, then we're going to have to try and get 3 points anyway, whether it's through a set piece or whether it's through a goal late on. I don't know, but so far it's not looking good. We are slowly getting to the end of the transfer window. Still no word on any potential players that could be coming in. No strong links of such of yet. I think maybe that will become clear next week when Ozil moves on and Socrates moves on. You can only hope. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and click that bell notification to be notified every time I release a video. So we'll see you tomorrow after or before the Newcastle game. Until then, stay home, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.